All right, so today we're looking at the volume of prisms. The first core and fundamental understanding that you need to have is that the volume of a shape is what happens when you take a 2D shape and you bring it into the third dimension by protruding it upwards. So it is that same area, this square here, multiplied by a third dimension, which is its height. Okay? So the basic premise of volume is that volume equals area of the cross-section multiplied by the height of the object. All right. So the object that we have on the left is called a rectangular prism. Now, you'll notice that not all dimensions have been given. We haven't been given its width. We haven't been given its height. What we have been given is the area of its cross-section. Okay? And then we've been given the length of the shape, or in this case, the height of the object, by which that area has been multiplied. So the volume of this shape, which is area times the height, in this case, is going to be 10 meters squared multiplied by 8 meters, which is going to give us 80 meters cubed. If the area of the cross-section is provided, it's a very straightforward process. Looking at the second example, something that we have not dealt with at all before, it is an irregular shape. However, once again, being a prism, if they give us the cross-sectional area, which is this shape here, and they give us the height of the object, which is our 20 meters, then again, the volume is just equal to the area times the height. So in this case, it's going to be 80 times 20, which is 1,600 centimeters cubed. Looking at a slightly more complex example, here we have a rectangular prism where we don't have the cross-sectional area. Instead, we have 3 dimensions. So the first step, step 1, is find the cross-sectional area. Now, what that means is that if I was to cut this shape, so say I cut it right along the middle, all right, I would get a square. If I cut it anywhere else, I would still get that same square. So the square that I am looking at is this square right here. So the first thing we need to do is find the area of that square. Now, the area, or rather this rectangle, the area of this rectangle we will find by doing length times width, where the length is 3. Apologies, length is the longer side. Length is 5, and the width is 3. So the length is 5, the width is 3, which makes the area 3 times 5, 15 centimeters squared. Now we have the cross-sectional area. We need to make sure that we have the height. If we're treating the blue rectangle as the area, then the height of the object is 4. Okay? It is the amount by which we have multiplied the area. So it is 4 centimeters. So our volume is going to equal area times height, which is going to be our 15 centimeters squared times by 4. Giving us a final volume of 60 centimeters cubed. Now, looking at this shape, we have a triangular prism. Now note that if I choose to cut this object like so, okay, where this is the bottom triangle here. When I cut it again here, I will get a different shape. So a rectangle is not the cross-section of this shape. However, if I were to cut like this, every single time I cut this shape, I'm going to end up with the exact same triangle. All right? So a triangle is the cross-sectional area of this shape. So once again, step one, we find that cross-sectional area. We have got a triangle. Okay? To find the area of a triangle, we need to find half the base times the height. The base of this triangle is 5 meters. The height of the triangle is 2 meters. So the area of our cross-section is a half times 5 times 2, which is half of 10, which is 5. So we are looking at 5 meters squared as our cross-sectional area. To find the volume, we're going to do area times height. Now the height of this shape is 12 meters. So we're looking at 5 meters squared times 12 meters. So 5 times 12, which will give us a final volume of 60 meters cubed. That is how you find the volume of a prism. Just remember, here our height is the vertical length, but if our shape is lying down, the height might be horizontal. Okay? The height is not always the vertical length. Good luck.